Welcome back! Now that you have learned how to modify your image and how to perform basic analysis of your image, let's learn how to measure and analyze objects in your image. If you have a black and white image and all the information is contained in the same image, you can directly start the analysis of your objects. However, in my example, I have three channels and we need first to separate them to be able to analyze the object of each channel independently. As I explained before, you go to Image, Color, Split Channel to get the three channels in three different images. Let's focus on the blue channel that represents here the nucleus of the cells. Before defining the measurement that I want to analyze, I must tell the software the precise object that I want it to analyze. To do this, go to Image, Adjust, Threshold. You have to be sure that you have selected the right image to analyze before you do this process. So here I selected the blue, so you will see my image getting red. The software highlights in red all the objects that it has been selected. So here for now, it's only the background of my image. Here the color red is simply an aid to better identify the selected object and visually see them, and does not correspond to anything in particular for the analysis. So do not worry even if you're analyzing a green channel, for example. I usually start by putting the bottom cursor all the way to the right, and then I move the top cursor to select the particular object I want. You can also select dark background to already tell the software that there is no object of interest in the background. So you can see now all the nucleus or the blue colored round piece of my image appear in red. So that means I selected only this object to be analyzed later. For this step, it is really essential that you select only the object of interest and you select them perfectly. So feel free to take the time you need to make sure you have all the items and objects that you want selected. At the bottom of the windows, you can now decide to use auto for an automatic selection, reset if you want to go back to the basic image, or set if you want to apply the changes. And for definitely fixing the changes, you select apply. When you do that, you can now close threshold window and you have the object appearing in black and whatever has not been selected is in white. Now that you have selected the object, we have to analyze them by selecting Analyze Particles. The software called Particles the object that you are analyzing. In this new windows appearing, you can choose the characteristic of your analysis. First, you can set the size values of your objects. This can be interesting if you don't want to take into account too small objects, which you already know are artifacts. For example, in this image, I have very little particles here that I already know are artifacts. So if I want to remove them, I can select that I want object only bigger than, and I write a number. Here, be careful, the size is in pixel square. So you have to make sure you know the size of the object of interest before that. Similarly, we can choose the circularity of your object. If your object do not have a circular size, I advise you to not change this value. However, if you want to keep only precisely circular object, then you can write 1 in this window, and all non-perfectly circular objects will be excluded from this analysis. Finally, you can select elements to refine your analysis here, such as excluding objects close to the edge because they can be partially cut and therefore distort the analysis. By selecting exclude on edge, you can also decide to include holes, which can be interesting if there is hole inside your object, and that can affect your analysis too. You can then select display result to have the result appearing in a new window. And you can also select summarize to have the summary of your result in a new window too. I would strongly advise you to select display result and summarize here to be sure to have all the information you want. When you are ready, you then select OK, and now you have two different windows, summary and results. The summary is the summary of all your data in your image, and the results are all the objects and the data measured in your image. So each line corresponds to one object. So here you can also decide to change the measurement that are analyzed by selecting results, set measurement like we previously see, and you select all the measurements that you want. If you had new measurement, don't forget to close the windows like we saw previously and start again your analysis with analyze particle. You click OK, and then you have again your new data file. So as I previously said, this window also regroups the number of objects in your image because each line corresponds to one object. So it can be interesting to know the number of objects analyzed by the computer. Here we have 48 objects analyzed. If you look at the picture, the object of interest are only 6, and so that means a lot of little particles have been analyzed by the software as independent object, which I do not want that. So I would have to redefine using the threshold which object have to be analyzed if I really want to continue this analysis. Again, you can save your data as an Excel file by selecting File, Save As, and choosing where to save your data. Congratulations, you were able to analyze objects in an image. This task concludes our Getting Started with ImageJ project. You could install the software, download images, modify them to better analyze them, and analyze elements or objects in your images. From now on, you can use the software for scientific or professional or even personal purposes, and you can process all your images to extract essential data quickly, easily, and for free. Thank you for participating in this guided project, and see you soon for new projects. Goodbye!